Finally, it's out. Dunkirk, out in theaters. I've been waiting for like over a year to see this movie ever since the first trailer dropped. I think it was in the winter time. The point is I've been waiting so long to finally see this movie, and it's finally out. Christopher Nolan's newest movie. Here's my review. Like I said, Christopher Nolan's newest movie about the events and everything that had happened on the beaches of Dunkirk. All I have to say, really, there's really not much that I have to say about this movie. Besides, it's another masterpiece by Christopher Nolan. One of my favorite directors right now in Hollywood. And it was interesting to see Nolan tackle something that wasn't necessarily fiction. You know, like he did the Dark Knight trilogy, you know, Inception, and Interstellar was his last movie. And all those, they're more fiction than reality. Obviously, I guess you could say science fiction for the most part, or a comic book movie with the case of the Dark Knight. So it's interesting to see him tackle something that was real, something that actually happened, something that was a part of history, about the evacuation of Dunkirk. That's what the movie's about. It's about the evacuation of I think it was 300,000 men that were trapped on the beaches of Dunkirk, and that's what this story's about. Unlike a lot of his other films, which is a common complaint that I've heard, at least over the last few films that he's made, is that he makes movies that are very, very philosophical, that have a long running time, and that's something that this movie basically it shoots that idea almost in the leg, because this is a very realistic, gritty, and intense film. From the second this film starts to the second it ends, you're just on the edge of your seat the entire time. And on top of that, this movie's like, I think, an hour and a half or something. I don't know the exact running time, but it's less than 2 hours, let alone 3. And it was a different direction that Nolan went in. You know, he could have just, you know, stuck with, you know, some sort of science fiction, but he didn't. He went with a more realistic film, and I think that this film is just... I know I'm going all over the place. This film is fucking gorgeous. Not only does it just look, it's shot magnificently beautiful, like all of his other films are. It's very gritty, but without being Saving Private Ryan or even most recently Hacksaw Ridge gritty. Again, this film's only rated PG-13, which is something I didn't even realize until I'd actually gotten my ticket and saw that it was PG-13. But it is, and it definitely is a film that really pushes that whole PG-13 rating. But it's a very, you know, realistic film. You know, you're put in these situations. There's essentially 3 different stories going on that all revolve around each other in a way, but it's not like, oh, here's this story, all right, now we're cutting away to this story. It all feels like one flowing, cohesive narrative, but it just shows you just all the shit that these men had to go through and the situation that they were in. And to really sit here and talk about the characters that were in the movie, or maybe certain highlight performances, really wouldn't be doing anything justice, because this movie's not about the characters. That may be a plus or a minus for you. This is not a character-driven film. Again, like I said, this is a war movie, but this isn't like a Saving Private Ryan or a Hacksaw Ridge. This is not about the characters, but rather the ensemble of people and what they had to go through. This is what war is about. This is what it shows you. This shows you just how desperate and just how terrible the situation was, and also how a group of people banded together to try to get these people away. And it's just, that's what this movie's about. So if you're going into this expecting, you know, seeing a lot of Tom Hardy or even Harry Styles, which I didn't even know was in this movie, which he was actually, as one of those kids who grew up hating One Direction, because that's just what the cool thing is, he was really good in this. And even the main kid that you start off seeing, you're focusing on the situation it throws themselves in. Half the time, I didn't even know a lot of the characters' names, but I was still super invested just to see how insane that this whole atmosphere was. And again, unlike a lot of other Christopher Nolan movies, this is just about the event. This is from the second that this film starts to the second it ends, shit just happens. And it's insane, it's intense, my heart was beating throughout the entire thing. It was insane. Like I said, this is another masterpiece. And honestly, there's not much more that I want to say about this movie because it's just that good that you need to go out and see it. And like I said, this is about war. This isn't about the characters that are stuck in this situation. This is about what everybody had to go through. And it's heart-pounding, and I fucking loved it. Honestly, I recommend this movie highly. This movie was phenomenal, and if I had to give it a rating, I'd probably give it either a 9 or a 10 out of 10. It's that fucking good. So far, out of all the movies that I've seen this year, this probably would take the top spot. I fucking loved it. It's just a gritty and intense film, and it just fucking goes and goes and goes. And if you're one of those people that wants there to be some sort of break, where there's maybe like a moment where these characters kind of get along, or these characters kind of have some sort of heart-to-heart or whatever, none of that's in this, because it shows you how the urgency of the situation. They don't even have the time to do that. So like I said, all in all, highly recommend this film. Definitely go out and see this. There's really not much else that I want to say about it besides you're probably going to love it. Anyways, that's my thoughts on the film. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comment section below me. If you've seen it, if you haven't seen it, I guess avoid the comments because there may be spoilers or something if that's something that you're worried about. If you guys want me to talk about any other movies, please sure to leave that in the comment section below. I have this idea, by the way, for this channel, because there's a movie that I want to talk about. It's not out yet, but it's more or less looking at either rumored movies that are kind of thinking to be coming out, or maybe a movie that there's a brand new trailer of, mainly with sequels or remakes or reboots or whatever. I wanted to do this with, kind of like look at who's behind it, the director and the writer and stuff, to kind of judge whether or not this may be something that is going to be worth seeing or not. I did a very similar thing on my main channel years ago with the rumored Halloween sequel that I guess got canceled. So that's kind of how in line that I wanted to do that. If you guys are interested in hearing that type of my thoughts on that shit, let me know in the comments section below. Just something I felt like I might want to do. Obviously, I'm judging the movie before it comes out, but it's more or less like looking at the rumors and saying, hey, is does it look like this movie's going to be in good hands? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. I'll link the video that I'm referring to, like the style that the video is going to be done in the description. You guys will see it. It will be like a Halloween rumor video or whatever. Anyways, long outro over. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you guys enjoyed this. And hit the video with a thumbs up or not. Do you. If you don't know, if this is the first video you're seeing of me, I do have a main channel where I do other videos that will also be linked in the description as well. Feel free to check out my Twitter. Ask me questions and shit there. That's about it. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see y'all in my next video, whenever that will be. Later.